Let's talk about the month I made $475. This was my fourth month in sales. I was working 12-hour days. I had my headset on at 8 a.m. and I was dialing leads until 8 p.m. every single night. And I thought I was doing everything right. I was hustling until I got my commission check. $475 for an entire month. I made less than $4 an hour. Today, I'm going to share with you the spiral that almost made me quit and the mindset that changed everything. If you ever had a month that made you question whether or not you're cut out for this, then this video is for you. So let me paint the picture of where I was. I was dialing leads all day. I was getting hung up on constantly, and I was crying in between calls because I couldn't quite handle the rejection yet. I was comfort eating my way through each day just to cope with how much it hurt. Before sales, I was on my feet for 14 plus hours between nursing school, work, and clinicals. I thought I knew what hard work was, but those early months as an appointment setter showed me what the entrepreneur grind really looked like, and it was not glamorous. I was miserable every single day, but I had this spark inside me that kept me going because I believed that I was building towards something great. Financial freedom, location freedom, all the things that the remote high-ticket space promised. I just had to survive long enough to get there. And then I got that commission check, $475. The first thing that hit me was this overwhelming feeling of shame. I couldn't tell anyone how little I made. My parents already thought that I quit a stable nursing path for some internet sales thing. My friends were getting promotions at their 9-to-5 and they were posting pictures of themselves on vacation while I was eating ramen and crying in between cold calls. I felt like the biggest failure pretending to be successful. Then the doubt crept in. That voice in my head got so much louder. Maybe you're not cut out for this. Maybe you're one of the people who just can't do sales. Maybe you should just quit before you waste more time. So I started scrolling on LinkedIn, looking at job listings. I looked at hospital jobs. I looked at admin work, anything that had a guaranteed paycheck. Here's where it got worse. I was too embarrassed to quit. I already told everyone I was going to make it in sales. I talked about the income potential, the freedom, the amazing life I was going to build. If I quit now, I would have to admit that I failed. So I stayed. And I was miserable. I isolated myself, I worked the hours, but I was just going through the motions, waiting for something to change. Spoiler alert, nothing changed because I wasn't changing. I wish I could say that I had some dramatic breakthrough moment. I didn't. What happened was a lot smaller. I got tired of feeling sorry for myself. One morning, I woke up and realized I spent 4 months waiting for things to get easier, waiting for better leads, waiting to just figure it out, waiting for motivation to just magically appear, and none of it was coming. So I made a decision. I was either going to fully commit or quit. There was no more half efforts while complaining. And that is when everything shifted. So the first shift was that I stopped measuring success by the month. $475 felt so devastating because I was looking at it as what I made in an entire month. But when I reframed it as what I made in month 4 of learning a completely new skill, it felt different. I was 4 months into sales. 4 months into understanding human psychology, objection handling, and closing. Nobody expects to be great at anything in 4 months. But I expected to be making $10K a month already because that's what the highlight reels showed. So I started measuring progress differently. How many calls did I take? How many conversations were better than last week? And where can I improve? So the money followed the skill. I just had to build the skill first. The second shift is I stopped equating hours with results. I was working 12-hour days thinking that I was doing everything that I could do to be successful. But I wasn't working smart. I was working scared. I was dialing frantically because I thought volume would save me. But I wasn't analyzing my calls. I wasn't getting coaching. I wasn't practicing the parts of the calls that I sucked at. I was just busy, and busy is not the same as effective. So I cut my hours to 8 hours a day instead of 12, and I used the extra time to role play, to actually review my calls, and actually learn instead of repeating the same mistakes at a higher volume. Efficiency beats effort every single time. The third shift is that I borrowed belief until I had my own. I did not believe I could do it at all, but my mentor did. So I borrowed belief from him until I had the results to prove to myself that I actually could. Every time I wanted to quit, I thought, well, he thinks I can do it, so maybe he sees something that I don't. Borrowed confidence is not weakness, it's strategy. You do not need to believe in yourself from day one. You just need to believe in someone who believes in you. The fourth shift is that I stopped comparing my beginning to someone else's middle. Everyone's highlight reel is showing that they're closing 15K months and traveling the world and living their best life. But what they don't show is the year of struggle that comes before that, the $475 months that they had too. I was comparing my month 4 to someone's month 18, so of course I felt behind. Once I stopped measuring my progress against people who were further along, I could actually see how far I'd come. The next month, I made $2,400 in commissions as a setter. Not because I suddenly got better leads, the leads were the same. And it's not because I worked more hours. I actually worked less hours every day. It's because I showed up differently. I stopped operating from desperation and started operating from discipline. I stopped waiting to feel confident and I started acting like someone who felt confident. I stopped hoping for easy and started doing hard. And month by month, it compounded. So here's the lesson. That $475 month taught me something critical. Success isn't about never struggling. It's about what you do when you are struggling. I could have quit. Most people do. But that month taught me that the lowest points are where you either break or you build character. There's no in between. It taught me that hours don't equate to results. Strategy and skill do. It taught me that borrowing belief is a valid survival tactic when your own belief is gone. And most importantly, it taught me that $475 months do not define me. What I do after it does. So if you're in your own version of a $475 month, here's what I want you to know. It doesn't mean that you're not cut out for sales. It means you're learning. And if you can survive this part, the part where nothing's working and you feel like giving up, you'll be stronger than 90% of people who quit before they get there. The breakthrough doesn't come when things get easy. It comes when you stop waiting for easy and start doing the work anyway. If this resonated with you, drop a comment and let me know. Have you ever had a rock bottom month that almost made you quit? What kept you going? I'm curious to see your answers in the comments. And if you want more honest conversations about what it takes to succeed in sales, then subscribe to my channel and I will see you in the next one.